Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Rich Lewis. He is an author, speaker, and coach who focuses on centering prayer as a means of inner transformation. Welcome to the show, Rich.
Thanks. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You are welcome to the show, Rich. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking on prayers and inner transformation. So, Rich, you talk about centering prayers. So, a lot of people do their prayers in their own manner, silent, speaking, chanting, a lot of. So a lot of people in India also, they may not know about centering prayers. So you talk about centering prayers. So how would you explain people who have not heard about it, what exactly is our centering prayers?
Sure. So centering prayer has been around since the early 1970s, and it's considered, well, it was created actually by three Trappist monks. So three Catholic priests saw other forms of meditation, and they wanted something for the Christian community. And one of the priests, Father William Meninger, was reading I believe it's a 12th or 13th century book called The Cloud of Unknowing. And as he read this book, kind of the method of silent meditation, wordless prayer seemed to jump out at him. So first, I just wanted to share that it's been around roughly 50 years as a practice created by three monks, quite frankly. And and I'll explain how you do it. It is considered meditation, but it is also considered fostering a relationship with God, because during centering prayer we believe we're opening to the presence and action of God within us. We don't believe we're God, but we believe the divine is within us. So during this prayer we're opening to the presence and actions of God within us. And how you do the practice is you sit comfortably with your eyes closed, and then to begin your time you interiorly uh, uh, bring into your mind a two or three syllable word. It could be love, it could be God, it could be a color, it could be the beach, and that signifies you're beginning your time to sit. And then when you're sitting there, if you begin engaging your thoughts, and what I mean by that is you begin thinking about what you're going to do after your sit, or you think of all the things that maybe bothered you before your sit. You realize you're no longer sitting with God in the present moment, you're sitting with your thoughts. So you reintroduce that word, let go of your engaged thoughts, and then even let go of what we call the sacred word, and just continuously come back to the present moment and return to God. So that's how you do the prayer, and you just use that sacred word when needed. It's not used as a mantra. There are mantra practices where you're repetitively saying something or repetitively interiorly thinking something, but in this case you're just using it when needed to come back to the present moment and the purpose of your sit, of just sitting with the present moment and sitting with God and letting go of thoughts. So that's essentially how you do the prayers. But it may not be as simple, because thoughts, if you try to sit in silence, you probably always have thoughts. Or some people may think a couple minutes could seem like an eternity to sit with yourself. But that's essentially how you do the practice, and then that it's a 50-year-old practice created by three monks.
Right, right. So is it for a particular duration that one has to do it, or it can be any duration that one can do it? And how many times a day is it required to achieve to that level of inner transformation?
Sure. So what I'll say for beginners, if the idea of sitting in silence is daunting and scary, I would suggest one, make it the first thing you do as you begin your day, and start with baby steps. So perhaps start with 5 minutes, and most people will find that's not so terrible and so difficult. So I would say, if you've never done meditation such as this, do it at first thing in the morning. Try it for 5 minutes, and try it for 30 days and see how it goes. And if it's a practice that you like and resonates with you, then begin to increase the time to 10 minutes and 15 minutes and even 20 minutes. And then actually after that, if it's something that really resonates with you, you can add a second sit at some point later in the day, and you can take the same approach. You could take baby steps with it in 5 minutes, or you can go right to the 20 minutes if you're already comfortable with it. So that's what we would so I would suggest someone to, if possible, get to a practice of twice a day of 10 to 20 minutes each time.
Right. So it's a form of meditation. You do in a particular way. You have a couple of words in your mind and you focus around that.
And you don't actually, you use the words to come back to the present moment, but then you're letting go of that word as well. So you're not focusing on anything. You're trying to let go and just open to the present moment and open to God in the present moment. So it's, you're not meditating on, you're trying not to meditate on anything. You're trying to let go of any of your thoughts.
Right, right. So tell us a bit about your journey, your understanding of this through your practice. Uh, how has this particular centering prayer impacted your life positively? You call it life giving and life changing.
Sure, I've been practicing it since 2013, and if you think about it, there's, that you're letting go of your engaged thoughts, and you that the letting go kind of follows you outside of your practice. So what I've discovered is outside of centering prayer, I let go of maybe things I don't need to focus in on, and then it allows me to hone in and focus on the present moment and do things that the present moment requires. So I've noticed with my practice, a lots of changes in me. It's really changed me since I've been practicing. Uh, Prior to practicing, many of the things I'm doing now were not even on my radar, and things that I even thought I would do or would have interest in doing. After my practice, I have a website, silenceteaches.com, that has a weekly meditation. I have a book that I wrote and was published in August of 2020. I've been on over 120 podcasts. And that's something I never dreamed that I'd be doing. And it actually scared the heck out of me, the idea of doing that. I've done some public speaking, and I do some one on one coaching. So these are all things um, that I'm doing as a result of my practice. My practice is connecting me to my true self, the person God wants me to do. So I'm letting go of fears, anxiety, worries, unconfidence thoughts, and becoming the person that God wants me to be into the future. So it's been an amazing journey as far as I'm concerned.
Right, right, Rich. Now you talk about one's true self. Connecting with your true self. And also, you talk about inner transformation. So, how are these both these things the same thing, or are they two different things? Help us understand if one wants to achieve that, achieve what you. If you want to achieve transformation, then that changes you from what you are, and if you want to achieve your true self, that might be something else. I don't know. Means you will be the better person to tell us about this.
I would say they are connected, because as you are transformed, you're being transformed into your true self. So, centering prayer has helped me let go of the things I tell myself that aren't true and become my true self. So, I never thought of myself as a speaker. I never thought of myself as a coach. I never thought of myself that I could be an author and write a book. So, they definitely are connected. Centering prayer transforms you, and the transformation is you're becoming your true self, and the fun part is it's a journey. So your true self never ends. My true self continues to evolve. So what I'm doing now, it'll be interesting to see in 10 years, will I be doing the same thing, or will I be doing something entirely different? So I believe as I continue to be transformed, I'm continuing to grow more and more, uh, continuously becoming my true self, which evolves over time. That's the neat part. It's not an endpoint. It's a journey. So it's transformation, and your true self is a journey.
Right, right, Rich. So, as a coach, whoever you come to you, what are they generally seeking from you? What is it that they want from you? What are their general questions about what you do?
Sure. As I look back at my coaching, I notice really I've had three types of people have come to me. One is someone that's the idea of this is brand new, and they feel like they need someone to hold their hand and guide them and teach them how to do this and help them set up, help them have a long-term centering prayer practice. So that's one type of person. The second type of person is they've been practicing, but they feel like they're just scratching the surface. There's more depth to this, and they're not really connecting to their true self, and they're just on the surface and think there's more to it than they're experiencing. And then the third type of person I've coached are people in ministry, such as pastors and priests, who say, I'm busy helping and serving other people, but I know I'm going to burn out. And I know this type of practice is very important um, to help me, sustain me, so that I can better help and serve others. So I've actually, when I look back at my coaching, I've helped people in all three of these areas.
Right, right, Rich. So tell us about your book, Sitting with God, A Journey to Your True Self Through Centering Prayer. What is this book all about? We have talked about centering prayer. We have also talked about God, but I want to, understand your books. Who is this book for, and what can people get out from this book?
Sure, this book really can help either new people, the idea of presenting the idea of centering prayer to them, and what is it and how can it help them. But it can also help existing practitioners go deeper in their practice, because I talk about your true self in the book itself. And I guess what makes the what I'm just a regular person who gets up and goes to work. Actually, I work remotely, but I'm a regular person who gets up and goes to work, and has written a book for the everyday person to add this type of practice or to go deeper in this type of practice. And then I've written the book to be easy to read and follow. The chapters are short. Um, there's You'll see a heading, and then you'll know what to expect on the next page or two, and then you'll see another heading. So I meant it to be read, easily digested, easily read and understood, and then some questions for reflection at the end of each chapter. So I wanted to make it a fun, easy read, and also share with them my journey in case it can help them, or they can relate to it.
Right, right, right. So for those people who are looking at, that whatever effort they put, they should get that output. They should get the fruits of their meditation. How do you like to tell them that, okay, this is what centering prayer can do for you? These are the fruits that you will reap if you put your mind into centering prayer.
What I tell people is the fruits are kind of unique for each practitioner. So as you begin a practice and then look back at your life, or maybe even ask friends or peers or relatives to look at you, they might notice things about you. So for me, I definitely have noticed the fruits are, I think I'm more present in the present moment and letting go of what doesn't, things I need to do in the present moment. I think I'm a better listener of listening to people and giving them the attention they deserve. I have a whole lot more confidence in myself. Um, I'm more willing to try and do new things and get out of my comfort zone. And not that I wasn't excited to live life, but I have an excitement for life, and I look forward to what's going to happen today, and what neat things will I learn or experience or see today. So those are some of the fruits that I definitely have noticed since I've been practicing.
Right. And how does then one start looking at God? Sitting next to you, sitting somewhere else, or is in your heart? How does God, reflect in all the way you want to look at Him?
And I think that's also a journey for each person. So when, like right now, I've evolved to, I think of God like 10 years ago, God was up in the sky looking down at me, and I wasn't sure if God was pleased with me all the time. And now I've evolved to the point where God is within me, guiding me and pushing me forward. God is kind of outside of me, and a few steps ahead of me, kind of not, kind of holding his hand out and pulling me gently forward. And God is behind me, sort of gently pushing me forward. So I think of God as an everlasting presence that loves me and is in me and all around me, in front of me and behind me. But I think everybody has their own perspective or where they're at with God.
Wonderful, wonderful. There is much to learn, understand about God, about centering prayer, about true self, and inner transformation. So, for those who would want to connect with you, learn more about these things, what is the best way for them to do so, Rich?
Best place would just be to come to my website, silenceteaches.com. When they subscribe, they'll get my free ebook on centering prayer just to learn more about it. And then if they find it's something they're interested in, they can further explore the tab, the book on my website, and they could further explore actually reading the book if after reading the free ebook piques their interest. But come to my website, silenceteaches.com is the best place to find me. And I love to interact with people. So if they email me, I'll email them back. I've landed on Zoom phone calls with some folks as well because they've had questions.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.